So, down here we got Blown, which this is a fucking amazing bad movie. It's shot on video film about murderous blow-up doll. Got the Coffin Joe movies, which the second one is the fucking best one in the entire series. Candyman, classic. Constantine, that's a full-screen copy. I need to upgrade. Need to upgrade to the Blu-rays of these. The Chosen, this is one of the worst modern horror films I've ever seen. And I only have it just because it takes up space on shelves. The Carrie remake, which I don't think's that bad. Drag Me to Hell. I love this movie so much. And I think it's a great Sam Raimi film. The Dead Inside, which is this weird kind of zombie musical. Dylan Dog Dead of Night, I don't consider that movie to be that bad. I've never watched The Deceptors. Sticking it. Quit sticking together, you fuck. Decadent Evil, that movie was terrible. Devil's Rock is pretty good. The Door was actually fairly interesting. I actually think this one's a pretty cool movie. Look, everybody's seen The Exorcist, but not everybody has seen The Exorcist 3, which is really fucking good. We got Flying Monkeys, which I bought a few years ago, and I have not watched it since. Like all of the Final Destination movies. Some really terrible, Headless Horseman movie called The Hollow that just looks bad. Joe Dante as the whole. This is a pretty cool return to form for Joe Dante, honestly. It's not, super amazing or anything, but it's solid. It's entertaining. Hotel Inferno. This one's from Necrostorm, they're responsible for Adam Chaplin, the most famously Adam Chaplin. But also Tater City, which was really cool. How to Save Us, I really like this one. I think that one's pretty underrated. Idle Hands is pretty good. Never watched Incubus yet. I like It. It Follows. Legion's good. I haven't watched Night Watch. I've seen the first Omen, and that's about it. I watched this movie Outcast, and that was pretty bad, actually. Let me adjust myself accordingly so I can actually get these fucking movies in shot. The Refrigerator, this is a movie that's beyond out of print about a man-eating refrigerator. That one's pretty entertaining. Haven't watched Stigmata. The Spookies is pretty entertaining as well. Sleepy Hollow, great. Wishmaster 1 and 2, love these movies. Gotta get the Blu-ray. 1408, I really like that one. Absentia is okay. The first two Amityville films are great. The third one's terrible. Amityville No Escape, another one from Henrik Kuto, which is autographed. I haven't watched either of these. Bones is amazingly terrible. Urban horror, kind of. It's not really a horror comedy, but it's hilariously bad. Film featuring Snoop Dogg. Crimson Peak, I loved Crimson Peak. And The Conjuring 2, I thought was pretty solid. The Changeling, right here, this one. This is an old Canadian supernatural film. No Blu-ray release in the US. That's a really good one. Should be on Blu-ray, honestly. Oh, you fuck. Come on, move over. I'm trying to do this one-handed. Stir of Echoes, I like. The Booth is a pretty underrated little Japanese horror film. The Dark Water remake with Jennifer Connelly, I actually really like that one. Empire of Passion from Oshima Nagisa. This is a great kind of gothic, old-school ghost movie. Flesh Through the Inferno, that one was pretty entertaining. The fucking Fog is great. I mean, everybody knows that. Ghost Ship is fun and bad. Ghost House is fun as hell. The Eye is legitimately creepy. Grave Encounters I thought was pretty fun. The Haunting. This movie is just that. It is fucking haunting. I did not expect a 2-hour-long movie from the mid-60s to creep me out that much. House from Criterion. This is a pretty fun little Japanese horror comedy. And then you got the movie House from the 80s, which is completely unrelated, which is another great horror comedy. Oh, come on, move the fuck over. The Horror Show, also known as House 3 in some markets. And House 4, which isn't available in the US. I know that Arrow put it in the UK edition of their House box set they put out not too long ago. The Invisible, I didn't watch. The Insidious movies, I like. The Ginny Wade House is Haunted is some really bad looking kind of like ghost footage movie I found for like $2. Joe and the Grudge, Oculus, I think is pretty entertaining and underrated. The Orphanage is great. One Missed Call, the first one is great. I haven't watched all the sequels yet, but this is the entire trilogy, which I somehow found. Oh, come on, get it. The entire trilogy of the One Missed Call movies, the 2-disc editions. So there's 6 discs in this set for $5. Out of the Dark, which I watched on Netflix, which is it's kind of terrible. Paranormal, which is a Christian propaganda film disguised as a supernatural horror film. Paranormal Captivity, another one that I haven't watched, but I don't really plan on it. Poltergeist, need to pick up Blu-rays of all the Poltergeist movies. Premonition, I haven't seen this one in a long time, but I remember it being pretty bad, actually. This one, Ringu Kazenban, this is the Ring TV movie from the mid-90s. And it comes complete, this bootleg of it comes complete with 90s Japanese commercials, which is interesting to see Japanese commercials from the 90s. But it's a fairly interesting kind of Skinamax adaptation of Ringu that came before the famous film. And then you got Ringu 2. Return to House on Haunted Hill, which is okay. It's kind of entertaining. Scrooged, one of my favorite Christmas horror comedies. Sentinel, this is a really good, really underrated flick. That's a must-see, I would say, when it comes to 70s horror. Stay Alive, I think this one's pretty underrated. Trace is terrible. We Are Still Here is a really cool kind of tribute to Lucio Fulci. I haven't watched The Woods yet. American Werewolf in London is fun. Adam Age Vampires is terrible. Fucking Basket Case is fun as hell. Same with Black Sheep and Bloodsucking Bastards. I had a lot of fun with all those. But, I got a couple more tapes. That's why I did the cut, because there are a couple tapes that I didn't show off. But we got Nymphoid, Barbarian, and Dinosaur Hell from Troma. This is a sealed tape, and the reason this tape and the next one are sealed is because apparently I've seen on eBay, this might just be people jacking up prices, but I've seen on eBay some of these, a couple of these 2 specific tapes sealed go for like $50. I'm sure those are jacked up prices, but it doesn't matter. And Sugar Cookies, the lesbian revenge film, which I really want to watch, but I don't want to open it because reasons. I know Vinegar Syndrome put out a Blu-ray, and this bootleg of Elves, the best Gremlins ripoff, and the best attribute of this bootleg is the green tape. Look at that, it's beautiful. It was only like $10. $10, not bad. Okay, moving over here. I also had to move another shelf out of the way. Blood for Dracula is pretty fun. It's fairly serious, though, when compared to Flesh for Frankenstein. Blood the Last Vampire is a pretty fun movie as well. The Blood Spattered Bride, really fun, like lesbian vampire film. Brain Damage is great Frank Henenlotter stuff. Caved In is a fun, bad TV movie. Daybreakers I thought was a pretty cool little vampire. Ooh, about to knock over the shelf I'm leaning on. Kind of vampire movie that had Ethan Hawke and Willem Dafoe in it, which is great. The Darkman trilogy, which I still need to watch the second one and the third one. Which I know that the second one and third one are getting Blu-ray releases from Scream Factory. The Descent, which I really love that movie. Dick Shark, which I just have to show this cover art. The only fucking Bill Zebub movie I own, and the only one I will ever own, because he's a piece of shit. Bram Stoker's Dracula, the Francis Ford Coppola film. I didn't like it, surprisingly. Dog Soldiers. Dog Soldiers is fun. Dracula, Dead and Loving It. I love this Mel Brooks film. Dusk Till Dawn's classic. Elves, just like the tape. This is a bootleg I made myself. Flesh for Frankenstein, again, another one that's out of print in the US. It's good. Garbage Pail Kids, fucking Godzilla, Final Wars, and Tokyo SOS. I love Final Wars so much. Grace, this is a pretty cool little kind of like zombie baby movie. The Gremlins movies, great. Host is a fantastic Korean horror comedy. I really love The Host. How to Make a Monster, this one is also really, really fun. The Howling, I gotta upgrade to the Blu-ray. You know, It's Alive, which is great. The Jungle, which is terrible. Leeches, which is terrible. Legion of the Dead, which is terrible. Let the Right One In is fantastic. Same with Lost Boys. Mad Cow I bought like 2 years ago. Still haven't watched. Mimic is... the first one's fun. I haven't watched the sequels. Monster Squad is awesome. Monster from Phantom Lake, again, that's one I bought probably about 4 years ago, and I still haven't watched it. The original Mummy, one of my favorites, in the Mummy trilogy with Brendan Fraser. I love that. Nosferatu, Orlok the Vampire, classics. I haven't seen Pulse. I know that's got a Blu-ray release now. Prophecy's pretty good. Silent Retreat, right there. That one is a really terrible, like, pro-feminist horror film. It's not a terrible movie because it's pro-feminist. It's terrible because it's so ham-fisted in its messaging, and because it's just a bad movie. Sharknado, everybody, you know, either loves or hates it. I had fun with it. Sharkensaw Women's Prison Massacre, which is terrible. Slugs. Love Slugs. Haven't watched The Stranger yet. Sundown Vampire Retreat is pretty fun. I watched it because Bruce Campbell was in it, because I heard he was good in it, and he's good in it, but he's not in it enough. Things, one of my favorite, like, low-budget shot on VHS, shot on video or shot on 8mm films. The Tremors movies, what can I say about the Tremors movies? I love them all. Troll 2, such a fun bad movie. Chandwick Park's The Thirst, I haven't watched that one yet. Teen Wolf is pretty fun. Teen Wolf 2 is kind of terrible. Under Wraps, the Disney original movie about a kid who becomes friends with a mummy. That one's out of print as hell. Midnight Kiss, this is a movie about a cop who, like, becomes a vampire. This one's pretty fucking entertaining, honestly. I need to rewatch it. Let me fucking adjust my shit. I don't know why I have Midnight Kiss all the way over in the W's and U's. Werewolf from the Amazon collection, I've got to say, if you're planning on buying this set, don't. It's like $30 on Amazon. I got it for 10 at a convention. And the transfers on these movies are some of the worst transfers I've ever seen. And it looks like they were like really, really, like 140p copies of the movie with hard-coded subtitles. And yeah, it's not worth it. It's not worth buying, really. And that's a shame. Wolf Cop, on the other hand, is an amazing movie. Watch that. Same with What We Do in the Shadows. I like that one. The Wolves of Wall Street. I still haven't watched this, but it looks terrible. Vamp, which features Chris Makepeace. This is like the only other movie other than Meatballs that he's in. Yakuza Apocalypse stuff, and watched that one. Bought that years ago. Yeti. I'm burping. Young Frankenstein, classic Mel Brooks. Zat. Oh fuck, I'm not even in frame. Zat. This is a fun, amazingly bad monster movie. The Berserk movies, which the anime is better. The original 90s anime of Berserk is way better. City of Lost Children is solid. Hiss is kind of entertainingly bad. I loved Krampus, or didn't love it, but I really liked it. This set has... I watched all the movies on this set other than Contamination, and they're all good. The one I would recommend the most is probably Dungeon Master with Cellar Dweller at a close second. Little Otik, this is a bootleg of a Czech Republic film. Really good fantasy horror film. Lethal Nightmares and Hallucinations, 2 Polonia Brothers movies on a limited edition Blu-ray. Why not? Lord of Illusions, Princess Mononoke, probably not really horror or fantasy horror, but it's dark fantasy enough. Nightbreed, the Leprechaun movies, Neon Demon, I love this movie. Same with Phantom of the Paradise, Pan's Labyrinth, Phantasm. Rawhead Rex, which is getting a Blu-ray release, that's awesome. Reality Bleed Through, this is the official DVD-R limited to 100 edition from the Screamer Claws website. Silent Hill is fun. Waxwork 2. Speaking of Screamer Claws, we got, what do we got? Where the Dead Go to Die and When Blackbirds Fly. Oh, my back is on fucking 9 right now. The Witch with the Flying Head is a pretty cool kind of, I think it's a Chinese or Hong Kong vampire movie. Wizards, Ralph Bakshi's Wizards. Prometheus is fun. I like Prometheus, believe it or not. Alien and Aliens, classics. Altered, I thought was pretty fun. Baby Blood is awesome. Needs a US DVD Blu-ray release. Well, a new one. Bad Taste, this is the limited edition. Oh, gotta get that copy. Oh yeah, John Carpenter's They Live. I'll put that back later. This is the limited edition, limited to 50,000 edition of Bad Taste. I got my hands on that fairly cheap. Critters, fun little monster movie. Deadly Spawn. Decoys is terrible. Haven't watched Deadly Shadows. The Faculty is one I have a real soft spot for. Like, I love this movie. Feast and Feast 2. I don't love these movies, but I think they're fun. Ghosts of Mars I thought was really fun. Invasion of the Body Snatchers, the 70s one, is great. Killer Clowns, Outer Space. Who doesn't love that movie? Little Shop of Horrors, Mars Attacks, Maximum Overdrive, Mothman. Mutilations from Massacre, that one's great. Predator and Predator 2. Rocky Horror Picture Show, need to get the Blu-ray. This has Contamination on it, that's the main reason I have it. The Starship Trooper movies, Extro, Without Warning, love Without Warning. Anaconda, Bats, Birds. Birds is great. Blood Lake's terrible. And that's Jaws and Jaws 3, I think. This is a fucking clusterfuck if I've ever seen it. And here's the shelf I had to move out of the way. Okay, I guess I'll just start at the top. I got Lake Placid. Lake Placid 2. I don't have the first one out on DVD or Blu-ray. Both the Piranha movies, the original and the remake, both very fun. Akira is great. We're getting to the body horror stuff now. Anatomy is really good. American Mary is fantastic. Altered States is another Ken Russell film. I really like Altered States. Antiviral. This is directed by David Cronenberg's son. It is a really cool kind of satire, kind of satirical, allegorical film. Metaphorical. The Brood. The old DVD of it, because I'm not paying $30 for the Criterion release, because The Brood is a good movie, but it's not that good. The Cabin Fever movies, they're fun. Dr. Hackenstein, from what I can remember, is fun. The entire Fly set, which I have the first Fly is great. I haven't watched any others. Frankenhooker, fantastic. Eraserhead, need to get the Criterion release. Existence, the film I think is better than The Matrix by like a long shot. Eraserhead and Eraserhead 2, two of my favorites. Well, Eraserhead 2 is like one of my favorite sequels of all time. One of the sequels that I would honestly say is almost as good as the original. Probably as good. Hellraiser 3, this is a weird old copy that I found for like $2. Enjoy that shot of my foot, you foot fetishists. Yeah, this is a weird, old kind of like, you see that? I don't think you can make it out on the camera, but it's like textured. Yeah, this is some like weird old like region-free release. I don't know. I saw the artwork on it. I was like, that's interesting. Hellraiser Bloodline, in space sequel that's actually good. Human Centipede, I like the Human Centipede movies. The second one's probably the best, probably. Johnny Got His Gun, a film some people might say isn't a horror movie, but I consider this a body horror film to the extreme, because it's absolutely fucking horrific. Manure, this is another James Bell film, along with Nutsack and Tantrum. Really like Manure. Mold, this is a recut version, or this was recut into the Necrostorm film, The Mildew from Planet Zolander. Slither, the Blu-ray this is out. The new Scream Factory Blu-ray is out, which I love Slither. That's a fun one. Spring, I really liked Spring. I'm gonna have to rewatch that. Oh, fuck. This is going all over the place. Slime City. I absolutely adore Slime City. This movie is fun as hell. The Stuff, this one is also really, really entertaining. Speaking of entertaining, kind of bad, fun body horror movies, Street Trash. love me some street trash. And what's this? This is a quote from Wes Craven on the front. Yeah, Wes Craven. Street trash makes Herschel Gordon Lewis look like Mary Poppins. The Thing. This is the old DVD of it, which I have that Blu-ray from Scream Factory. Tusk from Kevin Smith. I actually like that film. The Worm Eaters. Oh my gosh, this movie is fucking... Like, if you have not seen The Worm Eaters and you're an exploitation film fan, I would say do yourself a favor. Seek this film out. It is just amazingly weird and astonishingly bad. Child's Play. And you know what's funny is, when I bought this copy of Child's Play, I was thinking to myself, I was looking at it in the store, I was like, you know what? It would really suck if I went home and it turned out Scream Factory announced a Blu-ray, and then I bought it, and a week later, they announced the Blu-ray. I mean, it was only $5, so I can't really turn that down. All the sequels, which is like the DVD collection that didn't include the first one for some reason, but it included Seed of Chucky, the worst one. Get back on that fucking shelf. Curse of Chucky. I actually really like that one. I'm pretty sure most people actually thought that was solid. Demonic Toys is fun, bad. This Demonic Toys set I mainly bought because... Yeah, because it has the 3 Ginger Dead Man movies. The first one, which I have a lot of fun with, and that one has Gary Busey in it. And then they got the second one, which I watched fairly recently, actually, and I thought it was pretty fun. And then the third one, which I saw, like, a while ago, and that was terrible. This one has Dollman versus Demonic Toys 2 in the first one. So, you know, it's got a couple good movies on it. But mostly bad. The Puppet Master movies, which I have the first one on Blu-ray. Blu-rays don't fit on this shelf, so it's kind of bullshit. That's like the end of the Killer Toys genre that I have set up. Anthology films, ABCs of Death. I loved ABCs of Death. I don't know what you guys are talking about. That movie was bad. All Hallows Eve 1 and 2, those are okay. The first one's actually not too bad. I need to get ABCs of Death 2 because, oh fuck, I'm standing. Let me just move my old high school yearbook out of the way. Okay, got this next shelf. Continuing with some of the body horror stuff. Got Cronenberg's The Fly, which is great. Cronenberg's Naked Lunch, fantastic. Probably his best film. This is From Beyond, Stuart Gordon. Classic shit. Society from Brian Yuzna. This is the limited edition that's like going for $100 right now on eBay. The Thing. Love The Thing. This is a great one. Great, fantastic, one of the best movies ever made. Another Cronenberg, Videodrome. I love Videodrome. Killer Toys again, Puppet Master. Getting back into the anthology. We got the shot-on-video anthology, Burning Moon, from Olaf Ittenbach. I love Olaf Ittenbach's work. The Burning Moon is great, but I think his best film is probably Black Past. The Basement. This is mainly here because of the title film and the main film that's like advertised on it, The Basement. But this one also has, let's see, Captives, Video Violence 1 and 2, and Cannibal Campout, which Video Violence 1 and 2 and Cannibal Campout are great. Have not watched Captives as of yet, but I'm planning on it. Oh, come on, get that bit back in there, you fuck. Creepshow, need to pick up a Blu-ray of that. The complete series of Garth Marenghi's Dark Place, not available in the US, sadly. It's great. Dark Tapes is terrible. Like, Dead Time Stories is fun as hell. Got like heavy metal, always good. Night Terrors, this is like from when I went to my, I think it might have been, no, it was probably my second horror convention, and I met the director and the co-director, and they autographed it for me. Those guys were nice, and that movie's pretty fun. Stephen King's Nightmares and Dreamscapes. The public access mix right here, which is just weird public access shit. Penny Dreadful is terrible, honestly. Rin Daughters of Inosemi. This is one of my favorite animes, honestly. It's this is a UK copy, because the UK copy's cheaper. I actually bought this before I really knew anything about region codes, so I was kind of pissed. But I still have it. This show is, like, goddamn, is this show fucked beyond belief. Like, oh no, don't turn that way. Like, look at that. Dude's playing chess with a woman who's bound and gagged, and she has swords sticking through her. This show is beyond fucked up, but I honestly love it. There's only about 6 episodes. Here's one, Sex Android. This is the other one I got from Massacre for free at Cinema Wasteland. Massacre's a great company. You guys should really check them out and support them. I love their releases. Even if they don't put even if there's not a ton of features, you know that they try to get features, especially when a film is rare as hell. Henry Kujo's Scare Waves, really like that one. Tears of Kali's okay. Trick or Treat, who doesn't like that? You know, Tales from the Crypt, everybody knows about that. One of my favorite anthology films right here, Tales from the Hood. Finally on Blu-ray. It's a beautiful release. Here's a film that I think belongs on Blu-ray. It's The Willies. I love The Willies. It has fucking Sean Astin in it. VHS 1 and 2, you know, good stuff. Getting into horror comedies, Baghead. I heard this was great from some people, and I watched it, and this was actually really fucking awful. Like, it sounds interesting as hell, but how it's shot is terrible, and I get they're going for, like, oh, it's low budget. But you don't, just because the film is low budget doesn't mean you have to film everything terribly. The Burbs, the Tom Hanks film, the Joe Dante film, the only good Tom Hanks film. I love The Burbs, classic stuff. This horror comedy set, which I mainly have for Elvira and Return of the Killer Tomatoes. Love those movies. Ernest Scared Stupid, classic. John dies at the end, you know, new age kind of classic. Haunted World of Little Super Beasto, I really like. This one, Otis. I think Otis is actually a pretty cool direct-to-video movie. Heathers. You know, I love Heathers. This movie, Nothing But Trouble. This is the only movie Dan Aykroyd ever directed. And it's a weird, like, fucking Exploitation horror comedy that was rated PG-13. And it is... And I rewatched it recently, and it's legitimately fucking weird. And the fucking rap group Digital Underground makes a cameo appearance and performs a song in the movie. The Man with the Screaming Brain, which is written, directed, and stars Bruce Campbell. I like that one. You know, the Trios of Horror specials. Student Bodies is very fun. Tucker and Dale vs. Evil is great. Getting into the Troma stuff, I don't really think I need to say much about the Troma stuff. You know, got 2 of the Nukem High movies, 2 of the Toxic Avenger movies on DVD, the whole series on Blu-ray. Now we're getting into, like, some of the various DVD sets that have, like, multiple movies. Some of these are the public domain sets, some of these are just, like, double feature movies that I don't know where else to put. Right here we got one from Vinegar Syndrome. It's Death Force and Vampire Hookers. Both these movies are legitimately fun, but Death Force is probably the best. Another one from Vinegar, actually. It's Ted V. Michaels, The Doll Squad, and Mission Kill Fast. The Doll Squad is amazing. Now, this is a recent one to the collection. Night of the Sorcerers and The Loreley's Grasp. I watched both of these, actually, in one night, and I thought they were both really great. I think Night of the Sorcerers is probably the better one, honestly. This set from Massacre Video of the films of Chester Noble Turner. It's Black Devil Doll from Hell, and you know, fucking Tales from the Quadad Zone. You know, got a Twilight Zone set, got some other shit. This is a legitimately good double feature, both really good. Just a couple more things to show off. This set, not that it's worth showing off, but, you know, it has, what movie does it have? Bad Taste. It has Peter Jackson's first movie in it. And on the back, alright, they have the audacity to put a picture on the back from fucking Dead Alive. And then also on the back is a picture from fucking Blood Feast. But still. Oh, okay, finally. To the bottom. We got the Female Prisoner Scorpion box set. Love this set. How many times do I have to say it? The crown jewel of my collection. This one's like the second crown jewel. You know, I hope they release another American Horror Project. Really like that set. Also got this Australian horror set, which Patrick is really good. This Bloodfest set, which is terrible. And this $40 Oshima Nagisa Criterion set. But that actually does it up, so This is Biscaboo. Horror Reviews signing off. Peace.